2024 NBA draft is tricky, but the biggest high-risk, high-reward choice is definitely Serbian Nikola Topic. The last 2 years heading up to this event were a crazy roller coaster for the 6'6" point guard. First, he was projected to go only in the second round. Then he played at an insane level and even got to being a top 3 pick in almost all mock boards. Now, after 2 knee injuries and only 6 games played in 6 months, nobody knows where he is going to land. So this video is about the mysterious case of Nikola Topic and what is he bringing to the NBA.
Topic again, so calm and composed in the paint.
Let me just say this, I am not going to be surprised whether Topic is selected 4th or only 13th. After climbing up to a 2nd overall place in some mock drafts from the 2nd round, Nikola suffered 1 knee injury in January and a partially torn ACL just a month ago. So there is definitely risk considering his injury history at such a young age. Research shows that such crucial injuries are happening to athletes of a younger age because of an unhealthy load since early youth. So a lot of teams might be wondering, is his story going to end sadly like it happened to Lonzo Ball, or is he going to be a steal like Michael Porter Jr. later in the draft? For those who don't know, despite being the top prospect in his class, Porter fell all the way to 14th pick in 2018 because of previous issues with his back. In that position, Denver couldn't resist anymore of a potential high-value pick. They chose MPG and he ended up being a huge part of the championship winning core.
Porter on the drive, gets inside, nice move from Porter. He's got 11.
Now, the same can happen with Topic. Their stories are somewhat similar. Okay, the Serbian wasn't dominating the mock drafts early being from Europe, and because in the FIBA Under-16 Championship, which is basically the first major tournament here in the region, he also got injured in the first game. Then an even crazier thing happened. Topic was barely playing for the EuroLeague side Crvena Zvezda, and the player in his team thought more minutes were necessary. So his agent moved the player to another team in Belgrade. But somehow both teams managed to register the point guard for a game on the same day in 2 different cities and in 2 different competitions. And of course, a couple of days later, FIBA banned Topic from competing in both tournaments. That's why he wasn't really known until he dropped 49 in 1 game 3 months later. He also had 12 assists and 11 drawn fouls in that one too. On top, the last 37 points came in the last 16 minutes of the match. The NBA scouts were like, okay, Nikola, we see you. But this was only the beginning. In July of 2023, his stock started to skyrocket. First, the Serbian won the FIBA Under-18 Championship. He not only won, he dominated, got the MVP, and showcased his impressive skills on the brightest stage for himself at the time. Scouts and GMs saw the impressive speed that gets him an insane amount of paint touches every game. He was getting to the most coveted spot in basketball with ease using his acceleration, changes of pace, and direction. Once he's there, Serbian uses a variety of different and sometimes weird and tough-looking finishes or gets to the foul line. On top, Topic's basketball IQ is considered way above his age. His reads were just as good as veteran point guards and his pass is precise. Natural instincts and incredible size caught the attention. The skill made NBA people believers.
Now goes up and again, avoiding the block and just taking Diamata to school.
However, what happened in the next 4 months stunned everyone. But before we look into that, a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, Hostinger. Their AI website builder allows anyone, including complete rookies like me, to create a unique website in a matter of minutes. Or if you are thinking about an online shop maybe, Hostinger also has got you covered. They allow people to sell items without additional transaction fees, giving them the edge over many e-commerce platforms. So do not hesitate, start your online journey today and grab an additional 10% discount with our code BNews10. Okay, so from last October to January, Topic was rising every week. Literally in every new mock draft, his position was higher. And there was a solid reason for it. He dominated ABA League playing for Mega, the same team Jokic also played before the draft. In 33 minutes, he averaged 18 points, 7 assists on 50% shooting from the field. He got hot from the first game with nobody seeming to find an answer for his combination of size, speed, and understanding of the game. The quickness was really fascinating to watch. And it wasn't only about speed going straight, it's about how Serbian is able to navigate and move around like a snake. He barely loses speed changing direction here, and that allows him to go coast to coast for 2 points. That's one of a couple things that makes him special. His team would set picks at half court for Nikola to get an advantage in the pick and roll and attack the big who is backing down. On top, standing at 6'6", he can simply run into him, use the contact, and finish these with a foul. Also, his layup package would definitely get a badge in 2K. Up and under layups and his weaker left-hand finishes are nothing new. It can be from really close, but also from a bit further away. Or just look at this small detail. He explodes against the big after the switch and finishes from the other side at the last moment. This might seem like nothing, but it actually is an advanced finish because it helps Topic to avoid the block. He is not a vertical threat, he doesn't possess that type of athleticism. Just look at his opportunities in transition. Dunks were a rarity, those are power layups at best. And of course, NBA is all about the athleticism, so with a vertical threat, the Serbian would have been a lock for #1 pick. However, some scouts love him because he can score without just using his IQ. Look at this, the opponents go under, he immediately plays a rescreen. Then a snake dribble against the drop, which gives time for the big to seal his man inside and opens up a freeway to the rim for Topic. Pure class. He is extremely good at utilizing these Gortat screens. Topic would simply spam this read in every game if he saw the passive coverage, and some teams even had to start switching against their will. What about his passing, you might ask? Well, a 7-assist average speaks for itself, especially when assists in Europe are not counted as loosely as in NBA. Mistakes on empty corner pick and roll coverages by the opponents were immediately punished. Again, that's where his size helps immensely and why he should be able to transfer this skill to the NBA. Standing at 6'6", he can see the weak side, the low man, and pass over bigger players. In ISOs after switches, teams would often pack the driving gaps, making it tough. However, Topic usually made the right decision whether to drive until the end or kick it out. I especially loved this read. Serbian sees the weaker defender he wants in front and calls for his own one-on-one. There are flare screens happening on both sides to occupy the help defenders, and on the left there is a mistake on the switch. Topic wastes no time in throwing this beautiful bullet pass with his left hand without hesitation. Playing at such a level for 3 months straight, Topic got a call-up from his childhood team and a EuroLeague side Crvena Zvezda. The 18-year-old managed to start a couple of games and NBA people were excited to see him on the biggest stage in Europe, the one Luka Doncic dominated at the same age 6 years ago. And people were started to whisper, is this the new Luka Doncic the Europe is going to send to the NBA? Young point guard did not fall out of the picture. In a city derby against Partizan with more than 20k people in the stands, he scored 3 points and dished out 3 assists in 11 minutes.
Back out to the perimeter, got the shot away, fouled in the act of shooting.
But unfortunately, in that same game, he injured his knee and that prevented Topic from playing for the next 4 months. He came back in late April, participated in 4 more games and injured himself again versus the same opponent. On top of that, as you just saw, it was a non-contact injury scaring a lot of NBA people. Doctors are optimistic about Topic's knee future, but without a doubt, that might prevent him from getting a high pick. Also, just as every other player, the Serbian also has some downsides. Although he's standing at 6'6", his wingspan is below his height, a disappointing result for NBA teams. That doesn't help him defensively, where sometimes teams miss more energy from the Serbian. But probably the biggest question mark outside of his injuries is his shooting from deep. Teams would keep distance and go under since he's so quick and since he's always hovering around 30% from long range. Although his mechanics don't look bad, the arc is flat, influencing showing a lot of these misses. He has shown he can make it off the dribble and his free throw percentage is high, so some consider that as a sign of optimism, but for now there are a lot of question marks. Looking at the recent examples, even the full-time starters get benched in the playoffs if they can hit a long ball. However, I believe the Serbian has all the tools to be successful in the NBA. And after seeing this video, I want to ask you, do you believe it too? The biggest question remains his health. Knee injuries aren't a joke, and there are hundreds of examples where guys never fulfilled their potential or even had to finish their careers early. But if Nikola manages to stay healthy, we might be looking at another Michael Porter Jr. success story for the team that chooses him. That's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one.